So since every day we do a hadith, today's hadith that we're going to learn is also related to the lesson in a way, and I will ask you how it's related. So let's look at it. عن أبي هريرة, Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه narrated, قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم has said, إن الله, indeed Allah, لا ينظر, he does not look, or he does not deem important. Okay? لا ينظر, he does not look to what? إلى, to صوركم, at your appearances or to your faces. He does not pay attention or look at your faces or your appearances. وأموالكم, or your wealth, and your wealth. Meaning Allah does not look at how you look like, and He does not look at how much wealth you have. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala look at? ولكن, but ينظر, He looks إلى, to قلوبكم, your hearts. He looks at your hearts, وأعمالكم, and your deeds and your actions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not care about your appearances or your wealth. Why would He? Because He's the one who created you, isn't He? He's the one who made your face. He knows what you look like. What's so special about it? He's the one who's done it. So why would He look at that? If somebody is beautiful, somebody is gorgeous, everyone's made in a different way, right? That has no binding on how great that person is, isn't it? That's not their quality. It is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given somebody a lot of rizq, a lot of wealth, it is no quality of that person, but it is rather the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who gave him this stuff. So which is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at your faces, your appearances, your status, your decorum, the way you carry yourselves, the way you look. You could be the most prettiest person on planet Earth. He doesn't care. He made you pretty. You could be the most ugliest person, physically ugly person, but he wouldn't care. The world cares about these things. You could have the most low status. You could be the most poor person. He wouldn't care. And you could be the most rich person in the world. He doesn't care to look at that. Why? Because in the sight of Allah, two things matter. قُلُوبِكُمْ, your hearts, وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ, and your deeds. The state of the qalb. How healthy is your heart? How clean is the heart? How beautiful is the heart? Do we try to beautify it as much as we try to beautify our physical appearance? I was thinking, subhanAllah, that when I have to go somewhere, I want to make sure that I look pretty. I think everyone does that. They want to make sure they look presentable. But never it occurs to me that I need to beautify my heart along with my appearance as well. وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. And I was listening to a scholar who was explaining this hadith, and he said something very interesting. He said that we beautify our faces, our clothes, our homes because people can see it. What if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had put the heart outside of our bodies, and whatever was going inside our heart could come up on our faces, written down, and it would show all the filth, all the enmity and hatred we would have for the other person while showing them a smile? Would we ever have any friends in the world? Nobody would want to be coming close to us. What if the state of our heart would dictate the state of our face? What if the ugly heart that we have would translate into the ugly face? Because right now you could be the most beautiful person with the most ugly heart, right? But what if the beauty of the face was dependent on the beauty of the heart, or the beauty of the face was dependent on the ugliness of the heart? How would we survive on this world? It is out of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has hidden the matters of the heart. He has hidden it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep them hidden from other people. But in the sight of Allah, what matters to Allah, what matters to people is how you look and how your status is in the world. But what matters to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what's in your heart. How beautiful is your heart? And how beautiful are your amal? Hmm? What do we learn? What is the practical thing we're going to do from this hadith? And I would encourage, if anybody has the time, to inshallah, because I'm going to do this as well. And I would like somebody from my class to join me in this, that let's memorize this hadith, or at least write it down and put it on our mirrors. So when we get ready to go somewhere, we look at that hadith. So we make dua for ourselves at least. Oh Allah, purify my heart. Good intentions which lead to good deeds come from beautiful heart. Excellent. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all beautiful hearts. Allahumma ameen. And beautiful amal, beautiful actions. Amal salih. Allahumma ameen. So part of the homework that you guys have is obviously the first, I believe we covered 16 ayats of Surah Abasa. Yeah, 16 ayat of Surah Abasa. So you're gonna review the meaning, the recitation, and the listening, 20 minutes a day. Remember, we go with that same routine. And also part of the homework is going to be to review this hadith as well. Okay? We hear a hadith, but then we forget them. So you don't have to memorize this, but every day you're going to look at that hadith and read it. Learn to develop the habit of reading the ahadith as well, the way you learn to read the Quran. So you will say, Inna Allah. I've already highlighted the part of the speech of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and inshallah I will share it in the class with you. You're going to practice it by saying, Inna Allah la yanzuru. Indeed, Allah la yanzuru. He does not look ila suwarikum, to your faces, wa amwalikum, and to your wealth, walakin, but yanzuru, He looks ila, to qulubikum, your hearts, wa amalikum, and your deeds. Inshallah. And anybody who wants to go an extra mile, right? Because we are learning that we also have to go an extra mile in our education for deen. Write this down with your beautiful handwriting. If you can't, maybe print it and put it up in your home somewhere, and then share the picture with us when you do so. When you write it down on a nice decorative paper, uh, take a picture of where you put it in your home, and then share it with us, inshallah wa ta'ala. I think that would be a very good exercise, isn't it? And another thing you can do, you can make cards. You can make a card, write this hadith down, and give it to them, somebody as a gift. You're also doing da'wah. So think beyond your own self. Now, we are on a da'wah project. We have to do da'wah for ourselves and to others, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, think grand. Anywhere, everywhere, you can say something of khair. I mean, usually people get offended when you talk about the deen, isn't it? But this hadith is so heart softening that even somebody who's far away from the deen will appreciate it, isn't it? Right? So, inshallah ta'ala, the homework of the Quran that you know, hadith, this is going to be